Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Gemini is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And a very powerful Two of Wands to start. You are really like in this more confident energy right now. I feel that you're taking no bovine excrement from anybody. I feel like you really are in your power right now. I feel like there's something in life that you feel like you're just taking control of. And it's kind of like this is the last straw. I've got to do something about this. And we're taking initiative. You've got a sense of command to you right now. And I feel like people in your life are kind of surprised. I think people are like impressed, surprised in a very good way that you're sort of taking charge of things. I feel like you're just assuming command. You're assuming leadership here. You're owning the direction that you're taking in life. You might be feeling like you're committing fully to something. You're trying to regain, perhaps, some control over something. Now, let's put that into some context, and let's see what's going on here. But it's really a very powerful energy. And we have the Prince of Cups, also your authenticity. So do not lose that authenticity. I think maybe you're trying to reclaim a little bit of your sovereignty, because this is a bubble in an ocean. This is somebody who's existing in a place where it feels like there's a lot of emotional pressure for you to conform, or for you to do things the way everybody else does, or for you to feel the way everybody else feels. And it may be also some kind of emotional pressure coming in. I don't want to say manipulation, but it may be that you're having to push back against some type of emotional weight. Yeah. Anyway, we have an Ace of Wands down here. We have a Nine of Cups. We have the Death card. And we have the Three of Swords, okay? To me, the Three of Swords feels like you're making a promise to yourself. You're committing to saying, I'm never doing that again. I'm never going to go through that again. Okay? This feels like it's very good energy here. I feel like this is a very powerful set of cards here. We have a Knight of Swords, a Ten of Pentacles. Look at that. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the Three of Wands. You certainly are taking control over your life. Now, I don't want to dwell too much on what you are pushing against or what might be fading into the rear view mirror for you. I'd rather focus on what's coming your way. Okay? I'd rather focus on what you're claiming. You're claiming your sovereignty. You're claiming your authenticity. You're choosing like you. You're choosing to show up for yourself, and I like that. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here with Tiny Bob Ross right on top. Happy little Bob. We're not going to look at that happy little card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this reading you feel like you might know what that card is, I want you to put your prediction, your guess, your hunch down in the comments. This is a good opportunity for us to practice our intuition. It's like a muscle. You got to use it, And I guarantee the more often you show up here and you try to predict that mystery card day after day, even if you're just guessing, eventually you'll start guessing right. I promise you. Okay? Now, as we look around the room here, we see really the two very significant cards, the majors. the Death card and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay? Your growth, your expansion, your prosperity, your good luck, your turn to go around this wheel, right, requires that we shed a skin, that we step into a new version of ourselves, that we let the past be the past, that we let something go. I don't think the Nine of Cups is what we're letting go. I kind of feel like this is what we're reclaiming. Okay? Because I kind of feel that, you know what happiness feels like. You know what it feels like to be on your path. The Nine of Cups, your happiness. This is the way your journey should feel when you're doing it right. You know? Happiness is not a distraction. It's not a state of being. It's not even a goal, really. It's the way your journey should feel when it's working. Okay? I feel like you're trying to get back to that, because I feel with that Prince of Cups that you kind of got a little bit far away from like yourself, or from what matters to you, or like what's important to you, or feeling as if you're living an authentic life that's meant for you, the life that you desire to live. The princes of the tarot are all builders. Okay? And the Prince of Cups is asking you the question, are you building the life you desire? And I think the Three of, I like that we have the 3 and a 3 here. Because to me, that feels like it's a promise you're making to yourself. But let's talk about our Two of Wands quickly. This is power, this is will. This is your sense of direction. This is Mars and Aries. It's like we're not taking any nonsense anymore. We're standing up, we're putting our foot down, we're planting our feet firmly on the ground, and we're ready to go. We're saying, just try me, you know? You're choosing a direction, you're owning it. You're not halfway, sort of, I don't know. It's a full commitment, not a half commitment. You're trying to regain control of your emotional life. You know, you're done letting anybody else steer the boat. So you're making that strong decision, and you're going to go forward with it. Now, in this reading, we have our majors, right? We've, of course, got fire, fire, fire. We have water and water. We've got our air cards, and we've got a little bit of earth. But the air cards that we have are to me, very decisive. There's Saturn. I know the Three of Swords is not a very popular card, but in this case, I feel like it really means a promise. It means that we're keeping ourselves to a strict discipline now, because we're not going back to the way things were. And, even the Knight of Swords is kind of rushing headfirst into this new pathway and saying, I'm going to just, it's like kick some butt, take some names, right? And the Two of Wands, it's taking control over the direction of our lives, controlling the schedule, controlling the environment in a definite, concrete way, all right? You're going to speak with clarity, and you're going to have confidence. You're leading a situation instead of kind of waiting for something to be approved, or waiting for somebody to open the door and give you the invitation. No, I'm walking in. I'm walking in, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to wait for the invitation, I like that we have a contrast there between the Wheel of Fortune and the Two, because the Two of Wands is all about what we can control, whereas the Wheel of Fortune is everything else, So this is a card that requires that we just have faith in the way the wheel turns. As the world turns, we respond to the world. We can't control what the Wheel of Fortune does. We have some good fortune or some bad fortune, good luck or bad luck, right? This is you saying, I'm not just going to wait around for luck to happen. I'm going to make things happen, They say there are 3 types of people, right? Those who wonder what happened, those who are watching what happened, and those that are making things happen. And this is you being one of those people that make things happen, okay? So you're leading that situation. You're taking the initiative. You're taking ownership over your sovereignty, and you're saying, there's something I can do about this. I can respond to the world in a way that is proactive. I don't just have to sit around and wait for something to come my way and say, well, that's what the Wheel of Fortune brought me. I guess that's what I've got to deal with. You can go out and do something, right? So you're reclaiming your power, and you're using your strength. It's not forceful. It's not just brute force. It's not that we're just finding a door and we're going to break the door down. We're trying to work in tandem with the Wheel of Fortune. Okay? We're trying to cause change in conformity with our will. And we also know that there's a lot outside of our control. There's so much that's like outside of our wheelhouse that we don't get to decide. You're in a sailboat. You get to determine how you operate your boat, but you can't control the weather. You can't control what the ocean's going to do, right? You've got to respond to that in a way that is intelligent and confident, and so you're kind of aiming your will at the priorities that are within your purview instead of trying to control everything. Okay? No one is coming to live your life for you. You're standing in your own power. And I like that. The Prince of Cups here is that sovereignty. It is this kind of bubble in an ocean type of feeling. You're just a little fishing boat on this vast, vast ocean, And it requires that we know who we are. You're on an emotional quest more than anything, because this is about how you want your life to feel. Are you building the life that you really desire? Okay, what does life feel like for you? You're moving toward what feels soulful, what feels right for you. And I think that there's been a lot of pressure around you, not necessarily from specific people, but just from life, that's trying to get you to do something particular, a force that's trying to get you to be like everybody else, or to think like everybody else, or to feel like everybody else. It's a pressure to conform, right? Because the ocean surrounding that poor little bubble, trying to squeeze that bubble until the bubble just disperses into the water, and the ocean is saying, okay, now you're part of us, right? And so it feels like the bubble is in a very hostile environment. And I don't know if this is at home, at work, at school, or just that feeling that life has kind of like swept you away in the current. And you're saying, no, that's not how I want to live. I want to make the decisions. I want to decide where my life is going. I want to decide what I do and where I do it and what kind of life I'm building. Okay. So your feelings are, you're reclaiming your truth and your authenticity. You're getting in touch. You're going to stay true to yourself, I guess, is the vibe. Okay. And, I think that this is you asking, what is my heart truly in pursuit of right now? Okay. This is depth. There's a depth to you. And that is becoming direction, right, with that Two of Wands. Because you're acting in accordance with what you truly feel. Follow what you truly long for. Your heart is steering the boat here, really, rather than just feeling like there's a lot of pressure from the world around us to conform, to do things the way other people do. And this could be anything. It could be pressure from our family to go into a certain field of study or go into a certain career. Or it could be pressure from our friends to kind of just live the same lifestyle that they do. But you're choosing authenticity. And that, to me, is the number one priority for all of us. You're doing things your way. This could be financial. Everybody's telling you to invest in a certain stock, and you're saying, I want to do things my way, I think you're doing things in a very intelligent way, but you've got to follow what feels right for you, because you are a unique individual. And I feel that there is, it could be a creative project, it could be a career, it could be a course of study, it could be a lifestyle. It just could be your beliefs and your values are your own. And you don't have to take on the beliefs and values of anyone around you. You think of that bubble in the ocean, and how we sometimes feel that way. And it could be that for a long time you sort of let other forces guide your life, but now you're taking ownership of that, and I think that's fantastic. It's never too late. you know? The best time to do that would be yesterday. The second best time, today. Okay. And now below the surface here, we've got that Ace of Wands. There's a fire in your belly. There is a spark inside of you, Gemini, and I think it's saying, no more. It's intensity. It is an inspiration. It's a new energy. It's like just suddenly I'm just fired up, and people are probably going to look at you and say, what's wrong? What's wrong? Why are you acting that way? You know, because suddenly there's like, it's like, I don't know, like we woke up suddenly. Like you just drank a bottle of Jolt Cola or something, and it's just like you're fired up and you're electrified, and you're like, I'm going to be the magician. I'm claiming my role as a magic maker right now. You're saying yes to that surge of motivation that's welling up inside of you, which is basically like, I'm not going to take it anymore. You know, this is a burst of motivational energy. You're saying yes to yourself. You're saying yes to what feels right for you and the way you want to live. I don't care what anybody says. You know, it could be a creative idea. It could be this impulse to say, I want to, you know, I want to go and claim my independence somewhere, you know. And you're going to take that bold step. Instead of waiting for the perfect plan. You're not waiting for the plan. We'll talk about that. You're just going into it. You're moving your body, okay? Because this feels like it's been too long that we've been letting something else sort of influence how we drive the boat, okay? Now, I don't want to take all your power away from you and say that you've just been asleep in the cabin and someone else has been driving the boat. No. But I feel that there has been a lot of pressure on you from somewhere. I don't know if it's family or what it is exactly. Okay, but this is a chance for you to restart your engine and say, I've got goals. I know what I want. I'm going after that. I don't care what anybody says. Don't talk yourself out of this. Instead of that, we're promising, or we're taking an oath. You're protecting this from any kind of emotional pressure. This is sacred. This motivation, this is just like we're on the couch, suddenly we just feel a fire in us. Now we either just dismiss it and sit back down on the couch, or we feel that and we get up and we start doing something. We start moving. We're honoring this, right? It's a sacred energy. And how we respond to it, Ace, 2, and then we get the 3 of Wands. You see that? The Ace, the 2, the 3. This fire is like a lightning bolt cutting through all of the, cutting through the current structures of your life, going from the Ace to the 2 to the 3. The energy is sacred when it arrives. You are responding to that energy. That energy is going to reshape your future, I promise you. Honor the spark. Do something with it. 1, 2, 3. And I think the 3 of Swords really is this promise that I'm not going to repeat the past. Okay, so we're honoring this spark. We're going to do something with that. Whether this is a surge of like a creative idea, like suddenly we have this inspiration for some new project or something like that. It doesn't really matter. Whatever it is, we're using that. The 9 of Cups in the background here. This is us living a life that feels good. This is happiness. Okay, this is our path that we're walking. This is a 9. It's a verb. It's a function. It's not a state of being. It's a practice of happiness. This is the way our life feels when our life is working. This is us building the life we desire, walking that spiral road that feels like it's aligned with our true purpose. This is us feeling proud. This is us healing. This is us growing. This is us enjoying the stability. This is doing something that feels joyful. Okay? And maybe you caught a glimpse of this recently and you said, hey, wait a minute. Life can feel way different than it does. This is you maybe feeling the wish, making that wish for the future and making a conscious decision to move in our destined direction without any kind of guilt. Okay? Choosing to move our life to steer our boat into happier waters, you know? And I think this is behind you because I think you know what this feels like. You know what it's like to be emotionally fulfilled. You know what it's like to be content and to be satisfied. And you know what it's like to feel like your emotional life is working. And somehow I think we've drifted away from this a little bit, and we're getting back to this. This is what it's all about, you know. And I think that this is now with the Three of Swords, our commitment to pursue this and to not go back to, honestly, what would be a Nine of Swords. It's the alternative. It's either life feels like we're building up the right emotional life. Life is either going to be the line is either going to be curving upward, or it's going to be curving downward. And I think this is that potential that we know what this could be like. You're allowing yourself to feel joy again. You're allowing yourself to receive sweetness. You know, let your heart remember how good life can feel. And I think that's why this card's in the background. Now, I should point out that you have the Death card and the Prince of Cups. Both of these are Scorpio energies. I would watch the Scorpio reading if I were you. The Death card here is this process of change. Okay, its primary sort of meaning is change. It's the nature of nature. Okay, it's the fundamental force of the universe. It is change. It is transformation. And I think that this is kind of what you're looking to transform your life from whatever it was before, or whatever it feels like it currently is, to what it is destined to become. This is a card of renewal or even of release. Yeah. This is a cycle that we're ready to end. And I think that you're realizing you're becoming a different person. Or really, I should say you're shedding the false skin. And what's underneath is your raw, authentic self, you know? Someone that is not trying to conform to any other energies around them. Now, we all have to a little bit, so let's not take it too extreme or too literal. But you're being true to yourself rather than feeling like you have to wear too much of a mask in your life. Okay? You're kind of, you're revealing your true self here. You're letting whatever fire, whatever creative energy that's in you, you're letting it come out instead of feeling like we have to contain it. You're in some ways letting your freak flag fly. Okay? And the Death card, I think, is us saying, I'm not going back to who I was. And I think when we kind of remember what that was like, we're even more motivated to not go back there. So this is a chapter that's ending. I feel like you're shedding a skin. Okay? You're letting that old version of you kind of slide off and fall away. We're done with that skin now. And we're ready for that next chapter. And I think that it really is like you're molting, you know. You're letting go of something that is not serving you anymore. It's the pattern, it's the habit, it's the fantasy, it's maybe the job, maybe a relationship. You're not going to be feeding energy into something that doesn't respond to you in the right way. You know, there's a cycle that's ending here. And there's this authentic version of you that's trying to be born in that new space. So this is the card of rebirth, really. It's the card of change. You're changing. Your interests are changing. Your desires are changing. Your vision of the future is changing. You know, your trajectory through life is changing. It's changing into a more aligned trajectory, direction. Okay. So you're letting go of something. And I feel like, people are going to notice that your behavior is different. And people are probably going to say, what's wrong? What's wrong? Are you okay? Your behavior is changing because you're kind of putting your foot down and you're saying, enough is enough. I'm living my life now, And people may not understand that. You don't owe anybody an explanation. But of course, you can tell this to other people and let them know. But I don't feel that you're really doing a lot of that. I feel like this is something very personal for you. And you're sort of stepping into the new authentic version of yourself, and maybe you're not quite sure exactly what that's going to look like yet. That's okay. It's going to be very prosperous. Okay, very prosperous. But something is, something's trying to be born through you into the space that you're clearing out. Okay? And you might even find, like, literally in your life right now that you're cleaning out things. It's like you just had this impulse to, like, clean out that junk drawer in the kitchen, or like purge the folder on your computer or something like that. Or get rid of old stuff from your past, or get rid of clothes. Maybe you've been donating more clothes lately. I feel like you've kind of been cleaning out a closet or something, yeah? That's what's popping into my head right now. That we've been doing something like that, purging something. And I kind of feel, and maybe it's even more massive than that. Maybe it's just like you got rid of all your clothes. It could be that you cleaned out your entire house and you're just saying, I'm done. Maybe you're going to sell the whole thing. I don't know. But I feel like there's this clearing out of old energy for you. And we're ready to then move forward in that authentic way to build the life that we truly, truly desire. Yeah, it's beautiful. And going forward, of course, we have our Three of Swords, which is a card that gets a very bad rap. But really what the Three of Swords is, ultimately down, and it's just kind of bare bones interpretation, is memory. Okay? And it's usually memory of pain or trauma. It's usually a bad memory, right? But it's memory. It's us understanding the process of creation on the mental plane. I remember how things work. I remember what I did and what happened and what they did, and I remember that situation. That we have this ability to visualize. We have this ability to think about things. And I don't know if every intelligent creature can do this or not, or if it's kind of just us or what, I don't know. But we have this ability to replay events from the past. And, of course, to create visions of the future and play those things, We have this ability to visualize and run scenarios. And very often this card is about us reliving something painful from the past and hurting ourselves all over again. Okay? That's usually how this card shows up. It's saying that I'm reliving a past trauma and I continue to feel icky about it. And it keeps hurting me. The more I think about it, the more I hurt. The more I hurt, the more I think about it. And then we get into an 8 of Cups and Swords, and then we get into a 9 of Swords, and then, it can get worse. But we can also use this card, because if we don't remember the past, we're going to be doomed to repeat it. So this is kind of like, I'm not going to forget what life was. I'm not going to forget, whatever we're talking about. I'm not going to relive it every day and torture myself. Okay, I'm not going to let this become a 3, 6, 9 of Swords, but I'm not going to forget. And with the Saturn in Libra aspect of this card, I feel like we're making a promise to ourselves. That's saying, I'm not going to go back to living my life that old way. That I'm committing myself. I have discipline, and I have authority, and I have the willpower. Saturn is our friend, right? I'm going to commit myself to my new life, no matter what. Even if I lose friends, even if my family doesn't want to talk to me, even if people don't understand me. Okay, the 3 is always about understanding. And the 3 of Wands is you understanding yourself. This is saying, I may not understand other people, they may not understand me, that's okay. You're getting your bubble out of that hostile environment, and you're moving forward toward the life that you want, regardless of, with some consideration over the repercussions. You're responsible. You're a kind person. Yes, of course. But you're going to do it even if people don't like it. Even if you lose friends or, that sort of thing. Because you're doing something virtuous. You're doing something authentic and real for you. And, I think you're overhauling your life in some way. Yeah. And I think that this is that oath. Yeah. This is you accepting the truth and understanding, understanding kind of the reality of things. It's called sorrow, this card. Sorrow is the soul digesting a truth that it wishes were otherwise. And if we remember how that felt, then we'll be sure not to go there again. It's only when we forget about this card that the devil kind of puts it up its sleeve, and it'll use us against us when we've forgotten about it. Because now we forgot all about it. Now we're just going to live our life. Then suddenly there is that same sorrow repeating itself again. So we're remembering this thing that we went through so that we don't have to go through it again. Because it'll haunt us. It will be an anchor to us. It will come back and surprise us, and we'll find ourselves in the same darn situation again later on. Like I said, if you don't understand, or if you don't remember the past, if you don't honor the past, you're going to be doomed to repeat it. And this is that pattern, that cycle. I keep going through the same, here I am again in the same bad relationship, whatever it is. And so we're keeping this, we're keeping that as part of our ledger. Yeah. We're not trying to erase that memory. But also we're not trying to dwell on this either. Okay. This isn't going to become an 8 or a 9 of swords. You gotta promise yourself that much as well. Now, I would like for you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. It is a wonderful way to support this channel, and it's free, and I appreciate that. So, your general energy is the Knight of Swords. Mental leadership, decisive action, sharp focus, taking command, We're making a firm decision, and you perhaps are communicating very clearly right now. You're not using a lot of words. Why use a lot of words when few words do trick? Okay, so you're very, very sharp right now. You're reacting quickly. You're cutting away distractions. You're leading with integrity. And your sharpness is defending your truth. You're the bubble in the ocean. It's not a time for hesitation or, it's a time for go, speed, You are the clear-headed leader here, so you know what to do next, even if you don't have a plan. The Knight of Swords, all of the Knights of the Tarot are looking at the future and seeing the goal. That's the life I want. How do I get there? Okay. And so this is the one that's saying, I don't know how to get there. I don't know the route. I don't know the exact road that I'm going to take, but I'm just going to get going, and I'll figure out the plan as we go. We'll update the map as we sail forward. Okay. So you're taking that kind of initiative, and you're not afraid. You're somebody that has you're a very smart person. And I think you're going to figure out how to build the life you want as you go. It's not something that we need this complete mental framework right now. Okay? You're creating that as you travel. How you're on your GPS in your car, on your phone or something, and as you go, the map moves with you, and you see more of the path ahead of you. But in any given moment, you can only see I don't know what it is, a radius of a mile around you. But as you travel, more of the map comes into view. On your phone or something, right, on the maps. You use them Google Maps. And that's what this card is. It's saying, this is us centering the map on yourself. That now my little blue arrow, or whatever I am on the map, now I'm at the very center of the map. And as I take a step, I'll see more of the map. As I take another step, I'm in the center always. So the map is kind of coming into view as I travel. Okay, that's what this card really is about. Now, the 10 of Pentacles in your environment, this is your best life. This is the life you want. This is your long-term security. This is the accumulation of wealth for you. And you've got to decide what this is. And that's the part of the authenticity. You get to decide what that is. Is it money? Is it freedom? Is it pets, plants, people? Is it retirement? Is it savings? Is it family? Is it the home? Is it the business? Is it the legacy? This is what you're making a plan to get to. Okay? Your investment plan, your estate plan, your long-range goals. Okay? And you're taking that action now. You're saying, I'm stepping toward the future that I want. This is the future I desire to build. And this is you got to think of it in high def. Okay? You have to start kind of with the end in mind. You have to visualize that goal first. And then we'll figure out how to get there. Every step of the way, I'm in the center of the map. And every step I take, I get a little bit more information, and I can choose my next step. And that's how we're going to go. And eventually, yeah, we'll have some kind of a plan or a system in place and all that stuff. But this is the life that you're trying to build. And it's literally called wealth, okay? And first thing we think of is, of course, money. Having enough money to be financially free, to be independent, to not have to do anything that we don't want to do. Okay? And that might be the long-term, stability that you're looking for. But wealth is the accumulation of meaning, responsibility. Okay? You're thinking long-term here, what you want in your life. Again, pets, plants, people, freedom, maybe travel. Maybe this is literally just like, this is the house I want. I'm getting rid of the old house because I don't even like it. And I want to go and I'm going to find this place that I like, that resonates with me in a very authentic way. This could be very material. Okay? It doesn't have to be anything in particular, though. It could just be saying that, look, I want to live my life knowing that the future I'm creating is actually mine. That's what it comes down to. Yeah. And the Wheel of Fortune, I think, is luck. It's good fortune. And I think that when you are living your authentic life, the Wheel of Fortune will move in your favor. You ever notice that when you're feeling like you're really vibing with yourself, it feels like the universe is giving you green lights everywhere. Doors are opening everywhere for you because you're vibing with yourself. You're in harmony. You're living in harmony. And doors are opening. You had the perfect amount of change at the grocery store, or like the lottery ticket, I got $5, or like, it's just things seem to be going your way. Everybody just cooperated with me, or you were expecting someone to say no, but they said yes to you, or you thought you were going to get a ticket, but the police officer just wanted to tell you how much they like your hair or something. I don't know. That's never happened to me. It just feels like there's luck, that is more present in your life when you're living in harmony with yourself, when you're really vibing with yourself in that authentic way. And then, of course, when we feel like we're not in harmony with ourselves, with our true path, our true selves, with spirit, God, goddess, deity, we're not living the life we know we're supposed to lead or live, it feels like we're getting roadblocks. We're getting red lights. Things just seem to be more disjointed for us, Anyway, that's how I kind of look at the Wheel of Fortune. And I think that you will know when you're living the right life because Spirit will confirm. You'll get the signs, the symbols, the synchronicities, the coincidences, the repeating numbers, the big billboards that say, yeah, you're doing it right. You know, you'll get the breadcrumbs. You'll get the little wins. You'll get the little stroke of luck here and there. That'll make you say, okay, there's something happening here. Yeah. And I think that, you know, when you work hard, when you apply yourself, when you take control over your life, I think Spirit kind of responds. The universe responds to that and starts working with you instead of what, you know, sometimes feels like against us. Yeah. So this is the wheel turning in your favor because you're now taking ownership of your life. You're taking responsibility. You're choosing your direction, and Spirit's saying, okay, let's expand. Let's open this up. When you start taking responsibility for your life, the hand of providence will move, and the wheel of fortune will turn in your favor. You're inviting good fortune into your life. Okay? You're working with the wheel and not against it. And so now Spirit's going to put the right people, places, and things on your path when and where you need them. Because Spirit knows that you will make the authentic decision to engage with those people, places, and things in the right way. In an authentic way. Spirit's going to stop sending you all that good stuff if you just keep turning it down or ignoring it or just like not even noticing it or saying no to it. I think now you're saying no to the ocean and you're saying yes to that bubble that is your true self. You're a bubble in an ocean, you know. And I think that, I think this is really good. And the Three of Wands, of course, is really good too, because this is you choosing to expand your life. We have a lot of this Aries energy here. Maybe I'd watch the Aries reading if I were you too. Watch Scorpio, watch Aries too. Because you have Mars in Aries here, you have the Sun in Aries here. So again, we have that idea of feeling that impulse, honoring that impulse, and using that fire to then expand your life. And that's what the Three of Wands is. It is expansion. It's confidence. It's understanding the process of creation on the creative plane. So you have this, it's like a confidence that you feel when you know that you can change your life. It's self-respect. You're acting in a way that your future self is going to admire. You're saying no to what feels off, what feels hostile. You're saying yes to the bubble in the ocean. You're expanding your horizons. You're doing something proactive to grow your life, to expand your life. You're sending the email. You're applying for that job or that apartment or that house. You're exploring the new place. You're reaching out to new people. You've been trying to stay true to yourself. And you're taking small but very important steps. You're trusting your instincts about where you should be investing your energy and what is not worth your time, or what you would, what doesn't feel authentic to you. You're going to say no to it. Okay? This is character. And character is built when your behaviors line up with your values. You're moving now like someone who truly respects themselves, and the Wheel of Fortune is going to turn in your favor because of that. This is you understanding how to live in harmony with yourself and thereby with the world around you. Let's look at the mystery card. I love this energy for you. My goodness. This is beautiful. So many wonderful cards here. And I feel like this might be 9 or a 10 of cups. I feel like we need more water now. I feel like we need some kind of a card of harmony or resonance. We need like a 6 of something. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see. Okay. Page of Swords. We may not know exactly how to build the life we want, and we still may be formulating this picture with the 10 of Pentacles. This is where you get out your sheet of paper, get out your pencil, and you draw a picture of your best life. What does the wallpaper look like? What's the shag carpet look like? What kind of furniture you got? Okay, who's in there with you? Yeah, you build a picture of that life. And maybe this is you saying, you know what, I got to figure that out. I got to get curious. I don't know exactly what I want in life yet. I got to go out into the world and figure out what I like. I'm going to I'm going to build it as I go. I'm not really sure. Like I said, we have to sort of start with the end in mind. So I think the first step is for us to figure out, like, what are the things that mean the most to us? What is the life that you really want? And maybe you start very abstractly. Maybe put it in the comments. What is it? Is it pets, plants, people? Okay, good. Then we slowly start to get more detailed. You know how, when like you're loading an image on your phone and at first it's just fuzzy? I don't even realize there's an image there. That's all I know. And then slowly it starts to download and it's like, okay, looks like a face. And you're still waiting for more of those pixels to fill in, and then you can finally see the details. So at first we just know I want a future. And then it slowly starts to come into view. Okay, I can kind of see like a forest or like a beach or like there's a house there. I don't know if there's some people around maybe. And it slowly starts to come into view. And that's what this card is. We don't have to know everything right away. It's okay to say, I'm not sure. But the bubble in the ocean can feel that I'm in a hostile environment. So I know that I need to go in a new direction. But we're not sure exactly what that looks like or how to get there, but we'll figure it out. Yeah. We're on the road now. We're on the spiral road. And we're going to do an extended reading as well. Please click on the link in the corner or the link in the video description. Gemini, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. And let me know if this is resonating with you. All right. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.